Party games. The best way to make you hate your friends that isn't dating their ex less than a week after the breakup. They're as mixed of a bag as this kitty litter tomato juice hybrid I'm holding right now, and yes, it smells as disgusting as you think it does. There's no other genre in all of gaming that has maintained the same careful level of pure enjoyment and insufferable pain as long as party games have. It may not be the true originator, but I'm sure we can all agree the game that began the genre we know and love today is none other than Mario Party. You play a board game, then once everyone gets one go around the board, it's minigame time. A more visually stimulating, interactive version of the tried and true cardboard square on table and too many tiny pieces combination. It was the perfect idea to make a great video game, who knew? Down the line, things only got bigger and better. Until they didn't. The amount of chaos this series generated out of simply being itself is unlike any other. Collect a bunch of coins, nab a bunch of stars, then have it all come crashing down last minute because you're the #1 target. Sometimes life ain't fair. As it turns out, gamers and sadism go together like peanut butter and jelly, because if the Mario Party series never hit the popularity that it did, we wouldn't have all these amazing party games that we know, love, and still play to this day. These are games you can jump on with a bunch of friends, have some goofy dumb fun for a few hours over and over again. The intensity that Mario Party set for the most part has fizzled out, however the fun and creativity has skyrocketed like Mentos in a Diet Coke bottle. The best instances of this I believe can be showcased with the Jackbox series. There's just so much stuff here to mess around with, it's insane. I've plugged so much time into Drawful, it's crazy. It's essentially Pictionary with the most insane prompts ever, but I've spent way more time on it than I ever expected. You'll see things so bizarre and confusing, you'll think your friends drew these pictures with their eyes closed and using their non-dominant club foot. Overcooked, insert name here games, Fall Guys, and Among Us have all shown us that devs can be super experimental with the genre and still find success. It's hard to imagine a time where Among Us wasn't at the top of the food chain, ruling the gaming animal kingdom. Through the good cooking, brutal murders, and fantasies of being an in-shape athlete, there's one party game I never see often talked about, or even at all. Today I want to show off one of the better party games that I've ever played in my life, a little known gem that goes by the name of Ultimate Chicken Horse. As much as you may think you understand everything about Ultimate Chicken Horse just by reading the title, I'll still give you a breakdown on what this game's all about. The objective is to reach the goal as fast as possible. It's that simple. Were you expecting something more complicated? Something along the lines of 5D chess with multiverse time traveling? Please. Although the simple premise of merely reaching the goal is very much true, think of Ultimate Chicken Horse as the world's most hazardous obstacle course of reaching your destination instead of walking down a sidewalk. Sure, you could say Fall Guys has mastered this hectic, insanity-filled platforming game type because of the high regard it's received from seemingly everyone, but dare I say Ultimate Chicken Horse does it not only better than Fall Guys, but better than anybody else. Not to make this review a direct comparison to Fall Guys by any means, but the level layouts are all set in stone beforehand. Obviously, you say. They're levels, that's how levels work. You see what comes up, groan, knowing it's not the level you wanted, lose, queue a match, and repeat the oh-so-vicious cycle. Though there are set levels within Ultimate Chicken Horse, the assets within them are directly controlled by the players. At the start of each round, players are given a random assortment of platforms, hazards, and items to choose from the party box. It's random every time, and each item is first come first serve, so act fast. Once everyone grabs their piece, they're free to put it wherever they want. No exaggeration. As long as it's within the confines of the level, anywhere is fair game, thus making your trek from beginning to end not as simple as it first sounded. As much as I'd like to talk about the items, I know someone who may know a thing or two a lot more than I ever could. Take it away, Cole.
Thanks, dude. I'm really flattered that you think highly enough of me to let me do the items part of your Ultimate Chicken Horse video.
I bet you are. If I gave you one word in this video for every time that I died to something that you put down, I probably wouldn't even be in this video at all. And that's kind of sad.
What are you guys talking about?
The items are beyond a shadow of a doubt the best thing about Ultimate Chicken Horse. This amazing assortment of weapons brandish nothing but pure chaos. There's so much stuff to talk about here, it's going to be hard to cover without feeling like I'm not giving each and every item the proper attention it deserves. There's just less than 50 objects here to piss your friends off with. Every sort of convenience or inconvenience you can think of is here to play around with. The arsenal we have at our disposal is so diverse it's almost laughable. I think a color wheel has less color options than Chicken Horse has obstacle options. One of my favorite items to use is the beehive. Plop it down and it simply exists like any other beehive ever did. If you start messing with it, get ready to watch all hell break loose. A swarm of bees come out ticked off and ready to take out everyone in their path. What makes the beehive particularly deadly is that the bees won't leave you alone until you either make it to the end of the level or meet your untimely demise. You can actually get the other players caught in the crossfire of bees too. All it takes is for one person to rile up the nest to have their stingers readied up like frat boys at a keg party. One item that's a lot more versatile than one would initially think is honey. Not only can the honey be used to slow players down in their tracks, it can also be used in combination with other items to create some otherworldly, abominable contraptions. Okay, pause. Look at this. Look at this screen right here. Let me break it down for you. Here we have a double honeyed gear spinning clockwise attached to a long plank of wood. Annoying but manageable. Up here we have a sideways propeller platform stuck to a pendulum swinging wrecking ball. Meaning not only do you have to watch for the speed of how the wrecking ball swings, but you gotta watch for the speed of the platform, which not only moves at different speeds, but different times as well. Draped over a singular platform, that is. You guessed it, covered in honey. Bring your eyes down now to the bottom right. This is where things get messy. There's a blue milk crate that shimmies back and forth halfway across the level, slow enough to distract you from the fact that it's stuck to a saw blade that's attached to a stick that's attached to a rotating crate sandwiched onto a buzzsaw table, which is not only bigger but also moves left and right at different speeds from the milk crate and the other buzzsaw that's attached to. And if that doesn't sound bad enough as is, why not consider the fact that all these things are working together in unison right in front of a freaking black hole that, should you touch it, will send you directly to the bottom of the well.
So I'm literally in the middle of editing this right now. Here's the proof at this time. If you don't believe me, all I gotta say is well done for doing that in one take.
All these man-made weapons of mass chaos are but one improvised, conjoined toxic mindset of 4 people from a singular game. A microscopically small piece of the entire Ultimate Chicken Horse puzzle.
As fun as it is to play a game with the sole intent of annoying your friends, there's more to Chicken Horse than that. You gotta win the game. The way you win a round of Ultimate Chicken Horse is by getting enough points to be declared the winner, or have the most points within a set amount of turns, should your nefarious traps be too much for one another to finish a game on time. Make it to the end, you get a point. Be the first person to the end, you get a point. Someone dies because of your object, you get a point. Be the only one to make it, get a point. Have your dead corpse make it to the end, you get a point. It seems like everything you do or don't do, there's a means by which to obtain points. You can even get points for consistently not getting points. I'm not even trolling. If you're getting nowhere for a long period of time, once you finally make it to the end, just a single time, you'll get comeback points. There's low-key some legitimate incentive here to just suck all the time, then try and steal the win back with some late-game heroics. It's pretty devious, and I think I like it. However, there's one way of getting points so ghastly, repulsive, and unruly, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand straight. A method so despised, even hardened criminals twist with disgust at the mere thought of it. That is none other than
coins! The best and my personal favorite item in the whole game.
I know. Oh, I know. If I got a nickel if I got 1/97th of a penny for every time that you got points over me via the coin method, I would have enough money in my life to make Elon Musk look like a broke-ass.
The coin is like any other item. Snatch during the party box bit and place it in the level. Grab it, make it to the end, and be rewarded ever so handsomely.
Cool, that sounds fine and dandy, but the way you do it is so sneaky and shisty, I don't know how you sleep at night. You grab it quicker than a blink on 50 times speed and hide it where nobody gives a care to look. You shimmy and weasel your way through the level and get damn near double the points because everyone else isn't as content with being a crooked crook like you are.
Hey man, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm sure the devs wouldn't have kept it in if they thought I'd make it look broken. Besides, if I die, someone else can grab it and claim it for their own. Also, the Indiana Jones themed map called Jungle Temple has a floating coin to the far right at all times, so let's be honest here. If I can go out of my way to grab something covered by a dozen traps and still make it to the end unscathed, wouldn't you say I deserve some extra points in all fairness?
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. You made your point. I guess when I really sit back and think about it, that's kind of what Ultimate Chicken Horse is all about, right? Embracing the chaos. This game is the furthest thing from normal. The most normal thing about this game is the tractor on this farm. That's pretty normal, right? There's so much carefree, wacky madness going about. To say someone using any specific item consistently decreased my overall enjoyment of the game would be disingenuous. Ultimate Chicken Horse is currently out on PC, PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox, and honestly, that's a good thing. If you think I'm playing any platformer that requires anything more than a thought of thinking with a mouse and keyboard, you're fooling yourself. Controls here are pretty simple, but feel great. I'm using an Xbox One controller, but use any other controller or one that works with Steam, and I'm sure it'll feel just as fine. Walk with the left stick, jump with the A button, hold X while moving to charge your casual stride to a sprint, old school Mario style. You can use the right trigger for this also, but it's all personal preference. Holding the Y button makes your character do a little dancey dance. It serves no real purpose aside from being a goofy little troll taunt. I'd say an easy comparison is any of the dance lines in TF2. They don't have to be there, but they always lift up the mood, so its spot is well earned. As far as controls go, that's about it. They almost sound too basic, like if you want to do some on-the-fly creative movement combos, you might be held back by the lack of depth the controls have, but you'd be wrong. The mechanics of how the platforming feels is solid. The speed at which you move and weight of your character, the arc of the jumps, small and wide, just feels right. It's not too fast or too slow, the platforming doesn't feel sluggish or overly sensitive. I know this is a sort of blanket statement that can be taken any which way, but the platforming itself is what you want from a platforming game. If you've at all played the genre in your lifetime, it's easy to tell what platformers are good, what ones are okay, and what ones are truly awful. Just from the feel of it, Ultimate Chicken Horse undoubtedly falls into the good category. The only mechanic not present here that's a norm for most platformers, or at least a consistent trope in most platformers, is a double jump. It's fine though, what ends up artificially replacing what could have been a double jump as far as consistent usage goes is a wall jump. Like, there's so many other things in close proximity to you, I realized pretty quick that Spider-Manning your way from one object to the next was not only a lot more useful than what a double jump could have potentially been, but a lot more fun too. Jumping, skipping, and running through a death trap filled maze like you're a Ninja Warrior contestant feels so immensely satisfying. I know this is going to be a bit of a weird comparison, but it's like using the rails to grind on in the Tony Hawk games to continue that epic combo line. In the grand scheme of things, it's such a minuscule aspect of the whole game, but it's what keeps things going. Without the wall jump, Chicken Horse wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be itself. The only thing I feel could have been slightly improved upon, and I really do only mean slightly, are the levels. There's a ton of them, and they all look visually appealing, but I don't think most levels stand out enough to create a distinct personality. It took me a while to truly figure out why that is. I mean, there's a ton of levels I like. Pyramid is my favorite. Farm, Waterfall, and Mansion are all rad too. Dance Party and Space are awful. I hate them. They could go away, not come back, and I couldn't care less. All the themes are on point, that's not the issue. The main ways these levels feel different are usually based on one specific shtick or asset that isn't important enough to warrant being there. The map Old Mansion is a perfect example of this. There's an elevator that goes up and down if you hit a switch, but outside of that, there's nothing about the elevator or layout that's at all interesting. Iceberg is the complete opposite. Comprised almost solely of icy ground, watch your footing and always think twice or find yourself sliding off, falling into the icy cold water below. This isn't a huge problem, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of the level design comes down to you and your friends consistently messing with each other. It's both completely fine and a cheap way out at the same time. More carefully thought out levels that have gimmicks interesting and unique sewn onto them would have been nice to see. How about trying to get to the end of a level inside of a sinking boat with water rising up, or a prehistoric level where you're being chased by a dinosaur? Just some really basic ideas like that. I'll take something like that over something that just looks visually appealing any day of the week. That is Ultimate Chicken Horse. Not for everyone, but not for the faint of heart either. Endless replay value, endless possibilities, and endless amounts of fun. This game fits comfortably into each genre nicely like a warm, snugly oversized hoodie. It pleases platforming fans, party game fans, multiplayer fans, and people who are fans of being toxic to people they care and love about the most. What's not to be excited about? The only thing more toxic than the behavior that this game encourages would be to be I'm not gonna say it. You know what I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it.